Hey y'all, I wanted to re-record my Wolfridge starting guide because I kind of realized I sounded super tired and I was kind of out of it. I'm gonna be honest, I was sick that day, so I'm gonna re-record this for y'all so you can understand what I was actually trying to do. So the main thing you're gonna do is you're gonna spawn in around this area, like this person, and you're gonna want to walk over to WC Bikes. WC Bikes is basically the place where you can get new bikes, customize your bike, and change your stats, which is very important in this game. Because the starting bike kinda sucks. So the first thing you want to change is your speed. The speed is probably at 2 because that's the starting value. And that's not good. Because once you get to the more complex trails, the jumps are just going to be too big for you to be able to land because they're like you don't have enough speed. So you want to switch the speed to 5 when you're first starting out because 5 is like the perfect starting area because it's like fast but not too fast that you'll lose control consistently. So once you can get comfortable with 5 speed, switch to 6 speed because this is where you'll be able to make any jump pretty much. And then turn angle. Turn angle is kind of hard to explain, but it's very important. So when you're turning, your bike will probably be facing this way. If I'm trying to go to this pillar right here, 45 turn angle will turn like this. But if your turn angle is lower, like 30, it'll probably turn like this, which is a lot slower. So the higher the turn angle, the more sharp of a turn you will have, which in my opinion sometimes is good, sometimes it's bad. I've met people with 30 to 30 turn angle. I don't know how they could ride, but it works for them, so find whatever turn angle you're comfortable with. And weight. Weight basically changes your entire bike. It changes how fast you tilt, how easy it is to maneuver your bike, and more. So pretty much the best way to find it just depends on what bike you're using. So the best ranges for weight is around 2 to 3. So find whatever you're comfortable with and use that. Single speed. Basically, without single speed, you have gears. Gears, basically, the higher the gear, the faster you go. But in my opinion, they're kind of hard to use because when you use a geared bike, you have to switch gears with Q and E, which kind of puts a lot of it uses a lot more mental power because already when you're riding a bike, you have to have you're already using UHJK, and just adding another 2 set of keys to use is a lot. So I prefer single speed. Front and rear traction, usually don't want to mess with these because they're kind of complicated and they don't really bring much value to changing your playstyle. Tilt multiplier. This is another thing where you just have to find something you're comfortable with. 2.4 is perfect for me because I don't like to if you like to hold the tilt keys during your turn, put this at 1 to 2. But if you don't like to hold them, just put it to 2.4 to 3. Slide multiplier. Basically, the lower the slide multiplier, the less you'll slide around. So I've met people who like the sliding and kind of use it to do more complex tricks. So if you want to slide around more, put it to 20. But if you want to slide around just a little bit but you still slide, put it around 0.05. If you don't want to slide very much at all, put it on 0. And that's pretty much the best way to explain that. Suspension is very important, but it's very hard to explain, so I'd recommend looking at the suspension tuning right here. This is the perfect way to explain it. So I check this out, and if you didn't understand what I was saying, then check out the bike tuning guide right here. And then if you want to switch from the beginner bike, you could switch to one of these bikes over here. And all these bikes are good in their own ways. So if you want to have a really fast bike that turns really slow, use the St. Cecilia bikes. If you want to do more air tricks, use the Sasquatch bikes. If you want to do more if you want to do more smooth riding, use the Ziggy International bikes. And all these things have their own little quirks that make them interesting. So now I'm going to teach y'all how to actually ride the bike and spawn it and tilt and pretty much all that. So you're probably gonna, so once you first spawn in the game, you're probably only gonna have, you're trying to go up the mountain, you want to click on trail map. Trail map is where you find all the trails and lifts. So when you start, you're only gonna have base and blue. So you want to go to blue because it's like the starter area for bikers. So you're gonna spawn here, you're gonna walk down here, and you want to click on the bike spawner. You want to click on near the bike rack to make it spawn. And now you have your bike. Basically, this area is like all the beginner trails that let you learn how the game works. So, I'd recommend riding down Splinterhead because it's a super simple trail that teaches you how to tilt. So basically, what you want to do is you want to go down here, and then in the turn you want to tap H in this turn because it's to the left, and you hold A. So you want to hold in this turn. You want to hold D and tap K, and that basically makes you turn sharper pretty much is what that does. In this turn, because it's a sharper turn than the other two, you're gonna want to hold A, H, and tap J. Basically what J does is it keeps traction to the turn. Because all your speed comes from the back wheel, if you tap J, you're basically raising your upper wheel and lowering your lower wheel, which basically makes your bike it makes your bike stick to the turn more, which is very helpful. And now let's go over here. You see right here there's this kind of small jump, but I'm gonna try to land in there. If I don't hold J here, I'm not gonna go as far as I want to. Basically, holding J in the run-up of a jump will give you more speed and more air time, which lets you set up for the landing way easier. And that's the main thing I want to show you for that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you out. Thanks for watching. Bye.